What happens when a nation built on the rule of law is forced to put its most powerful figure under the microscope? For generations, Americans have been taught that no one stands above the law. It's a principle repeated in classrooms, courtrooms, and campaign speeches. But history tells a more complicated story. Time and again, presidents have tested the boundaries of that promise, sometimes walking away untouched, sometimes leaving the country divided and uneasy. Tonight, that promise is being tested like never before. A judge's ruling has placed the United States at a historic turning point. This decision does not exist in a vacuum. It comes at a moment of extreme political polarization, widespread distrust in institutions, and growing fears about the stability of democracy itself. And while one name dominates the headlines, the consequences reach far beyond any single individual. Donald Trump has been ordered to surrender to authorities in the coming days. What happens next will unfold under an unforgiving spotlight. Cameras will follow every arrival, every statement, every silence. Legal experts will dissect each motion filed. Commentators will argue over every interpretation. And the public will be watching, not just in America, but around the world. The stakes could not be higher. If the court's order is defied, judges have the power to respond with penalties ranging from steep fines to detention for contempt of court. If prosecutors determine that false testimony was given or that justice was intentionally obstructed, new charges could emerge. Each step forward carries consequences that could permanently alter how the presidency is viewed and constrained. In Washington, reactions have been swift and deeply divided. Supporters of the ruling say this moment represents accountability long overdue, proof that power does not grant immunity. They argue that democracy cannot survive if leaders are shielded from the laws they swear to uphold. Opponents see something entirely different. They warn that the legal system is being turned into a political weapon, used to settle scores rather than seek truth. To them, this case is not about justice, but about precedent, and whether future leaders could face similar scrutiny simply for holding office. These opposing narratives are colliding in real time. Across the country, Americans are glued to their screens. Living rooms, workplaces, and social feeds have become battlegrounds of opinion. For some, this is a long-awaited reckoning, a sign that institutions can still function under pressure. For others, it's a deeply unsettling moment, one that exposes how fractured the nation has become. Legal analysts caution that the path ahead will be slow, complex, and unpredictable. Appeals could reach higher courts. Security concerns will intensify. Public demonstrations could grow louder and more volatile. And throughout it all, the justice system will be under relentless scrutiny, not just for what it decides, but for how it conducts itself. Behind closed doors, Trump's legal team is preparing for an extraordinary fight. Strategies are being refined, arguments tested and retested, every move carefully calculated under the weight of global attention. For Trump, this is more than a legal challenge. It is a defining moment, one that could shape his legacy, his political future, and how history remembers his presidency. But beyond the individual, something larger is at stake. This case has become a mirror, reflecting the strength or fragility of American democracy. It forces the nation to confront uncomfortable questions about power, fairness, and trust in institutions. The outcome will send a message not only to Americans, but to the world about how the United States handles accountability at the highest level. As the process moves forward, one truth remains unavoidable. This moment will be studied, debated, and remembered for decades to come. So now, the question that cuts through the noise and demands an answer. Is this the moment America finally proves that no one is above the law? Or the moment the justice system itself became a tool of political warfare? Tell us what you think. The debate has only just begun.